Hello there, welcome back to Palworld. Last time around, we got a base set up. We did do a little bit of power leveling. We're going to be doing more power leveling today, but we're going to be doing a few other things. Namely, we will be aiming at getting a mining base up and running. There is an area in the far north here, unexplored, where we can get the mining base to mine both ore and also coal, which we will need later on. But today, we're just going to set up a very simple mining base for well, pretty basic purposes. We just want ore. We don't really have pals that can mine coal anyways. So they're going to need a mining level of 3 to do that. So we're basically just going to be setting up a pretty basic mining base that'll get the job done for what we need it for right now. Secondly, we are going to be trying to set up breeding. We have breeding farm here being unlocked at the next level. We also have the potential egg incubator here being unlocked. We are going to need to go and get some ancient civ parts. We're going to have to go and get some ancient technology points. And the way to get those are actually fairly simple. We need to find bosses. And we have 3 of them that we know of the map, as well as the Mamorest. But let's face it, the Mamorest isn't something that we can fight. So for the time being, that one is not really... It's not really anything that would concern us in any way, shape, or form. It's just no way for us to really deal with it. But those are going to be the 2 main goals for today. Both getting the mining base set up and also get a hatchery and potentially a breeding facility. Now for breeding, we're going to need to have, we're going to need to produce something called a cake. We're going to need milk, we're going to need flour, we're going to need a few other things. We're also going to need to get a better cooking station to make it. But we'll be looking for pals that can actually produce the things that we need as well. But yeah, the main thing here now is just to get the bit of a breeding facility as to set up and running to capture pals that we haven't captured before to help us level up quicker. And that is basically all that we're going to do today. So I'll do a little bit of power leveling throughout the night, and then once daybreak comes, we'll head out to the place where I think we're going to set up our first mining base. I almost forgot as well, but also something we want to do today is get ourselves a flying mount. I did kind of forget about that because I remember last time that we had a Nightwing that we captured. Unfortunately, sad pal is, well, we still need to get the saddle made. So we're going to get some cloth here. We're going to get some, well, other materials made as well. Going to go and have to farm some palladium. But yeah, we want to get that saddle up and running because having a flying mount is going to make life a lot easier. So I'll go farm for that, get it made, and then we'll head out to the mining base, I think. Here we are. We got the Nightwing saddle made. Let's get that one equipped. With that, we can now do a little bit of flying if we so desire. We also have a diehal in our team. They are usually fairly good, so that is why I've elected to do so. We're also going to head here and build the wheat field. We're going to head and build the cooking pot. And with that and these arrows that we're making, we've actually leveled up our base to 11. It wants us to build a weapons workbench. I don't know, do we actually have the technology for 1, but the building for 2nd? For actually making that. We did unlock stone last time around. We do not have the weapon workbench yet, unless I'm mistaken. It should be under production. Let's just double check in Tech 3. And it says no, we need to get level 20. However, we have gone up to 19 here. We're going to unlock the breeding farm. We're going to unlock cement, which is a material we'll need for building in the future, but also for making weapons, pal, spheres, kind of everything. And this toolbox is a little bit interesting because it increases handiwork efficiency, but it is quite expensive for us right now. I'm not going to get that. But the breeding farm here can be very, very good because you can actually breed fairly high level pals with fairly minimal, well, high level as in very good for doing jobs with a fairly minimal investment. And that is kind of what we are also going to be doing today. But before we get into any of that, we're going to head over and get started on a bit of a mining base. And honestly, we don't really need to bring anything with us because building a pal box is incredibly cheap. Just some palladium, wood, stone. We can get that on location. But yeah, we are going to be heading over, and the location we want to go to is next to a small settlement. So let's just head over there, and then I'll show you my favorite location for just building a very early game mining base. And yeah, just want to get these pound balls with us before we go. We found another creature that's going to be very important for the mining base, particularly early on. Tombat is one of the lower level creatures with level 2 mining. And the way that mining works is that for any pilot with level 1 mining, they can mine rock nodes. You're going to need level 2 to mine ore nodes. So, as you might imagine, this guy, particularly early game, can be a very, very good catch. Getting level 2s from any other source is going to be a little bit difficult. And with breeding, well, we can get, way far ahead by doing so. It's not really super easy to do so. So getting a couple of tombas, particularly early on, can be really beneficial, as I've said. Now, currently, we are a little bit off track. We ended up down here doing a little bit of exploring. Nothing really out of the ordinary that we've seen. There's no teleport zones, no nothing. There's a whole bunch of the pangolins, which we are mercilessly slaughtering for the pal fluids, which we will need to make hot tubs. And that whole sentence does sound horrible. But yeah, we have been leveling up pretty drastically here. We're currently level 22. We're probably going to get level 23, 24, even 25 perhaps by the time we get back from our mining base procedure here. But as I said, leveling up, easiest way, capture 10 of each pal. And that is really all that we're doing right now. We're just here to kind of fill in the niches or the ones that we haven't gotten 10 of yet, like the Daydream. But with this one, hopefully, yeah, there we go. We should get the last of that one as well. But yeah, did make this kind of a little bit of detour because we're looking for pal spears mainly. So let's head once again, and hopefully for the final time, to what I hope to be our early game mining site. On our journey here, we got sidetracked once again. We are looking for FTs. I think the camp is actually right up here. But below it, we found a dungeon. And as I said, we do want to start with a little bit of breeding, a little bit of hatching. And a dungeon is actually a nice place to go for that because we need ancient technology. You can get that from bosses, you can get that from shinies, and you can get that from dungeons. Now in dungeons, there will be, as you can see, some other pals like this Killamari. And we will, of course, take the opportunity to catch these when we can. There's no real wrong, nothing really wrong with that. It helps us level, and we get some progress. But as you can see, we've been catching a lot of pals. We've basically almost run out of pal spheres, and there is a boss in this dungeon. Every dungeon has a boss, and as far as I've seen, it can be most pals. So we'll be exploring here. Wraps itself around enemies' heads, sucking out their insides. Ugh. Pal mummies are fine, and they are Killamari victims. What are you? Are you a mining boy? I think I've seen one of these before, but I haven't really caught it. Like, I've done very few dungeons. Kind of avoided them like the plague. Okay, you guys do seem kind of annoying and dangerous, so don't want to kill you. That's kind of the biggest issue here. Or bring out a pal, they'll probably just delete them. And there's so many weird things to hit. Fella. Large claws boost diamond-like hardness. Okay, so it basically spends an entire day sharpening its claws. But it looks like it could be a potential mining pal. Hopefully it has level 2, but probably it's going to be level 1. But yeah. They are fighting something over there. Let's go have a look. But generally, there'll be plenty of rooms you can go through. To see what you can find. In our case, we aren't really looking for much. There's a fuddler fighting the syndicates. That's fine. There's also a Mao over there. We have a Mao Chris, so it could be good to get the regular version. And we're just going to get rid of the syndicates here because they are going to be a little bit of annoyance. Could try and capture one, but not really worth it, in my opinion. Battlers are, though, they give XP boosts. I'm pretty sure the Syndicate boys don't give XP boosts, which again is why it's not really worth capturing them. If they did give you XP, I might, have a different opinion. As far as I know, they don't actually give you anything. Okay, Mao is running away. There's 2 of them here. Careful not to hit the head, so I, one-shot it. That would be sad. Ow. Ow. Okay, I might actually die here. Stuck on a rock, please. At least that one missed. Okay, hardtail does not deteriorate. So they're basically lucky rabbit's tails. Oh my god. They're being poached for their tails. That is incredibly sad backstory. I don't know if I can tank a hit if I go closer to whittle it down even further. That's the thing. And so I was tossing a bunch of pal balls on it at 33%. We're going to be using the green one for the boss potentially. I don't think we're going to be able to cap it, but it would be nice to try. And again, this is my current defense against the Mao arts. Come on. Finally. Okay, so that way is blocked. How about this way? Seems open. Yeah, we are running out of pal balls, and I probably should distribute my stat points here. And honestly, we are going to be investing a lot into weight here. I do need, or rather want to get stamina to 200, as it does make things a little bit easier. But yeah, weight's going to be the big one. And I would guess this is the way out or to the boss. And also, is this water or is it just an abyss? It is water. A chest. So not the boss, but a hidden chest with, I would assume, is extra loot. That's what would make sense to me, at least. Let's see here. Some breads. So basically the same chest that we find outside. That is disappointing. And now we're going to have to climb back up. So yeah, I'm going to roam around in here. Let's see if we can find the boss. I think we're finally on the right track. The few dungeons I've done basically this road usually leads to a boss. And in this case, I'm wrong. So let's just see what these thugs are fighting. It is something new and exciting because, yeah, this road did not lead to a dungeon boss at all. Are they fighting each other? What is actually happening here? Are they just slabbering on each other? Okay, direwolf, deal with that. Or direhowl. It does look like a direwolf. Don't tell me that it doesn't. And I'm just going to ignore these tugs, although I could probably kill them for spears now I think about it. So yeah, I'll kill these guys. We'll get to... well, and then we'll continue our quest to find the boss. We have finally found the boss. It's the purveyor of wisdom, Eucrates. So, yeah, we're getting potentially a big owl here. If we can capture him. He isn't that high of a level, so let's just toss our man right in the center. And we have captured 10 of these, so I'm just going to be very, very boring. And get rid of the small ones before they cause us any problems. And here comes the big one. Looks like this is going to be a fairly simple fight though, so nothing to write home about really. And we should have one more headshot in us before we try and cap him. 30%, well 28% basically on the small boss already is pretty good. And I do want to collect boss monsters, so it's not a terrible idea to cap him. There we are. 2 ticks means that he's going to go in the ball. We get some sieve parts, ×2, a bit of fiber, and a precious plume that we can sell for money. As well as 2 chests here to plunder. This one has a ruby, a fire skill fluid, and we also get some thermal underwear, so we're more resistant to coal. There's an inverse of this, a fire underwear, and we've actually run out of inventory space. I think, at this point, we are going to eat whatever we kind of can, and then we're going to head back after establishing our mining base. So let's go up, get that established, and then we are going to go ahead and head back, get resources, get it fully operational with the 2 tomcats that we have. And we'll also see what the fuddler can do in terms of potentially being a valuable companion for this mining adventure. As I said, to mine, or you are going to have to get yourself a level 2 mining companion. And this is precisely the area where we want to kind of build. It is very well defended in the current edition of the game because pals can't climb. They won't jump down ledges. They won't climb up ledges. It is fully secure on this side. It is fully secure on this side. And the only real way they can come from is the frontier. So it's basically one way, flat, secure area. So there is nothing inherently wrong with... I want to get off. I don't want to pick up what's on the floor. There's nothing inherently wrong with building a little bit of a base here. The only real negative is this thing in the middle, which we can actually combat a little bit by just placing foundations. We don't have any stone, so we'll go have it mine that. I'll mine that, get the pal box set up, and then we'll be back to work here. Rather, we could just pick up some stone on the floor. I believe we need 8, and we're already there. So yeah, pretty simple and straightforward. The only thing we really need to worry about is placing the pal box in a way that covers as much land as possible, because we might make this into a permanent base, and having to rebuild it would be terrible. We also need a little bit of wood, so chuck, chuck, there we are. And again, we do want to, as I said, place the pal box in a way that gives us most land as possible. You can actually see the outline right now on the wall over there. So this is how far in we want to go. It's just a question of how far do we want to go any other ways. And I think this is good that we just place it like that. Let's have a look here and see if this looks decent. Because you could see kind of the outline there while we were placing. But I really wish it would just be a lot more clearer, which would make it a lot easier to place these things. And yeah, as you can see, we have probably wasted a little bit of space back there. That's fine. Could probably move it a little bit further in. It would give us more space over here. But I think this is acceptable. It's going to be a little bit too big in terms of defending the entrance, maybe. But it does give us a lot of flat land here that we can build on. And we can build other things that we would need for a base over there. So yeah. Let us see, with this pal box now, what the Fuddlers can do. We might as well. And their level 1 mining pals is kind of what you expected. Level 2 transporter is a Calamari though, so we're actually going to chuck him in here. And my Tombat, my Swift Tombat, which is actually an incredibly good perk, 30% increase in movement speed, I'm going to put you to work here. And other than that, I think we're going to put a couple of celeries in here, mainly as carrying, more so than anything else. But yeah, looks like we are off to a good start with this mining base. We are going to need, however, a little bit more wood to build a wooden chest. You do need a wooden chest, otherwise the pals will not actually collect anything, as they don't really have any place to store it. No need to collect something you can't save, if you will. And what we want to place this chest very close to the pal box, because what's going to happen is they're going to get a lot of ore, they're going to chuck it in the pal box, and as they do, when you pick it up, you're most likely going to end up severely overweight. But if you're close enough, you can just teleport immediately. But as you can see, already got 5 ore on the production here. These guys are collecting things on the floor nearby as well. But yeah, we are definitely going to need more mining pals in order to kind of speed up production. But already, it's a fairly decent mining base. It does need some necessities, namely food, you name it, food, other things. That's going to make it a little bit simpler for the pals who kind of live there. What I also want right now is to spend some resources on building better storage solutions, basically bigger chests. That would be helpful. So I think that's going to be the next goal. Get a little bit of better storage, as I said. And we are going to need to bring along some wood, some stone, and that should be all that we would need to get that mining base operational. So I'm going to go ahead and get it operational, and once we get there, well, I'll go ahead and get it operational. Let's just put it like that. Mining base has been built. All that remains really is filling it with pals. Currently, as I said, we only have those 2 Tombats really mining, but they've already basically produced 15 ingots at this point, and they'll continue to passively produce ingots for the foreseeable future. So that is kind of nice. While they're producing ore, we can turn it into ingots. I kind of made a bigger stable here. Pretty basic build. We have 15 sleeping spots. Well, we were supposed to have 15 sleeping spots. I guess this one got cancelled. But the idea is very simple. On normal difficulty, maximum is 15 pals. We might turn it up if it would be more fun that way. But for now, this is how we're going to do things. We are also going to, I think, build a couple of, well, bots basically over here. So I'm going to get that done. That way they can restore sanity. But for the time being, this should be good enough as kind of a starter mining base. And with that, we'll get started on our second priority, which is, well, to get better miners. And the best way to do that, or rather the easiest way to do that, is just through breeding. So we'll get a little bit started on that. I'll still be doing a little bit of flying around here and collecting things like the green dot in the distance. But I'll be starting to looking for the pets, or rather pals, that we need in order to make that happen. And those are the Mozzarina, I think that's what it's called, which is basically a milk cow. We need a bee guard, which we haven't seen yet, which basically looks a bit like a bee. Basically, it's a bee. It produces honey. And we're also going to have to get the wheat up and running to mill flour. And I think actually that's it for what we need to make ingredients. Because every time you want to breed a pair of pals, you need to serve them cake. I wish I was joking, but no. To breed pals in this game, you need to actually serve them cake. So, as I said, I'll be starting to scout for these pals. I kind of know where we can find them to some degree. So, I'll get started with kind of, you know, finding them, so to speak, while still doing what we're currently doing to this Vixie, which is using them as leveling up materials. Although, what I should do is head back to base, because we have collected a bunch of these green effigies, and the green effigies does have a purpose, as mentioned earlier. They increase your capture power, so we might as well go ahead and do that next time we find a TP. We'll do just that, head back and get things kind of sorted here. We do have a bit of an interesting camp ahead though, so let's just take a quick look at that before I get back to hunting for the pounds that we do need to get cake production and breeding kind of started. And it looks like they've captured a mop over here. Is that a mop? You should just toss the Nightwing in. It takes aggro. It'll also delete most of the syndicate pals here. We can basically just run in and freely release the pal. It looks like a little bit like a mop here. One of them is bugging out, apparently severely. A Svi! Nightwing fall down, looks like it. But yeah, again, very nice to just run into those places and pick up free pals. But for now, we are going to be looking for, as I said, Mozzarina. I believe it is, there are some in this area, rather low-leveled areas, which should make it easy. But bee guards are going to be basically level 20-ish, if not more. So that's going to make things a little bit more challenging. We have also so far unlocked some new stuff here, mainly the Gigasphere, the weapon workbench, and a flame cauldron, which basically, if we build this, would increase the efficiency of our pals, well, ingot production, cooking, things like that. We can also get our hands on the musket, some gunpowder, and coarse ammo. Gunpowder, charcoal, sulfur, this one ingot and gunpowder. But the musket needs high quality pal oil, and there's some pals that drop that when you capture them or on death, so we'll see if we can get them. Metal armor too would be a good upgrade. Water fountains, watering efficiency, which might sound like it's just for, you know, your farms, but there are watering tasks that produce fiber, there are watering tasks that produce paldium, so it's not a bad thing to get. And we are getting closer and closer here to a proper handgun, so it's not all bad, but as I said, perfect. Hello there, Tombat. Can only hope that my guy keeps on focusing on the correct enemy, because if he kills the Tombat, I'm going to be sad. Yeah, just like that. I should have called him back, let's be honest. I did that to myself. I can't blame anyone but me. So sorry, Tombat. We are now depresso. But yeah, I'll go ahead and try and do the things that I mentioned earlier. Let's see if we can get ourselves a little bit of progression here. So we've actually gotten ourselves into a bit of an interesting area. Do you hear that? Is it above us? We'll go back to the interesting area, but just as I said that, I'm hearing something above here, and it should indicate a shiny. Is it inside? No, there it is. It's a shiny Vixie? Okay, that is hilarious. It should survive this? Yeah. Just want to be sure that we don't kill this by accident, because it is a shiny. Do you have a special shiny attack? Shiny beam, I guess. Okay. Yeah, well, that sucks. Hope we're gonna have to pray that it's there when we get back. I've never seen that attack before in my life. That was straight up a shiny beam. Okay. Apparently, it tells my pals and items will be dropped, but we do keep our pals. Uh, Questions. I don't remember exactly where I died. Oh, there it is. It's right next to the desolate church. It was hidden by the red of the map. But yeah, that's an unfortunate death. But yeah, the Vix just doing a hyper beam. Not what I had on the cards, and by the looks of it, has despawned. Ah, man. I would have loved to have that thing. I guess it makes sense that we didn't have armor. You're still here. Does that mean your other version is still here too, around? We'll have to take a look. But for now, we'll just capture these ones. Again, things happens. No reason to dwell on it, although killing him probably was a little bit too overkill. Gonna go ahead and get the capacity. As you can see, Tombat is slacking off. And you actually do a lot of damage, so let's try and get someone to take aggro. I missed the arrow before I did that, though. That's not great. We also killed this little, you know, lookalike by accident. Didn't think the arrow would actually just straight up kill him. That should be as low as we can get it. 38%. Looks like a walking berry bush, honestly. It's a die-howl. But yeah. I'm so sad that we failed with that shiny. Because this was the area for sure. We don't really have much inventory space either, so we really should just go back to camp. Or base, rather. I see a Vixie running up there, but I don't think that one was big enough to be shiny. I'll look around for a little bit, then we'll head back to the interesting area. Unfortunately, we had absolutely no luck on getting the Vixie. It's just how things are. Shiny, unfortunately, it did kill me there. I thought it was just going to throw a large water ball. Instead, it was basically a... what should I call it? Water beam? Hyper beam? Sadness beam? But yeah, it did teach me a bit of a lesson. But the reason why I want to show you this mineshaft in this area right here is because this guy spawns inside. He's a black marketeer. You can try and capture him. You can knock him out. But you can also trade with him. And he will trade you pals, like in this case, a Cryolinx, a Fellbat, a Sweeper, and a Cremis. And sometimes they can come with very good perks. You can preview them. And as you can imagine, some of these are pals that you aren't supposed to be able to get yet, like this Cryolinx. You kind of see that from his value. And while we could try and sell some of our pals to kind of make up the difference, like pals we most likely aren't going to use, which would be Sparkets without the perks, or starters. Same here with really Rush Rolls without perks. No way we're going to get enough money to really buy him right now, but this dude could come in handy later on. And also, as I said, you can capture him, but he is level 40. So keep that in mind. You're going to need some pretty good balls. You're going to need some pretty good pals to be able to even, you know, get close to catching him. But he does have some benefits if you do end up fighting him and beat him. And the benefit is that he drops gold keys. So once you get to high level areas, you want to get gold keys to open the chests. He's a good source of them. And also, he will, most of the time, as far as I've seen, drop a decent chunk of gold alongside him. So you can kind of check his inventory. If he doesn't have anything good, mark him for gold and golden keys. Then just go back to base, teleport back. You need to teleport a fairly far distance to get him to immediately respawn. But he is infinitely farmable, which makes him a pretty good asset. I think we are going to head down probably around this area. I believe there is a lot of the milk cows down there. So we'll be setting course that way and see if we can find what we need to get a cake factory up and running. I was planning to head out to get the cows and some of the other things that we need, but I realized that it would probably be a little bit better if we focused on a few other things first, mainly getting the hatchery up and running, because we are getting to a point right now where we are starting to get some eggs. It's not necessarily a lot of eggs, but we are getting some eggs, and that could be a bit of a problem for both storage and also in the future if we end up with a ton of them. And excuse me, the best way to get that is to get the egg incubator, but to do that, we're going to need some ancient technology points. The way to get these is by beating bosses. You don't really get them from dungeons. So we're going to have to go ahead and do that. We're also going to unlock the Liftmunk submachine gun, the Tansy's assault rifle, and also the Foxpark's harness, which do a few things. Basically, this one allows you to pick up Foxpark and turn him into a flamethrower. This one allows you to kind of mount Liftmunk on your head, and he'll fire his SMG. And Tansy, basically, you give him an AK. It's not very accurate, but he has a gun. So as you can imagine, it can be kind of dangerous with that. We also have unlocked the Fluffy Pal Bed, which is a bit of an upgrade for our pals. We can give them a better bed, improving the amount of HP and sand recovered by sleeping, which would be good. Gathering efficiency flower bed, we'll get that one too. Probably will not be making it. Same with the silo that improves planting. And when I say not making it, not right now. We're gonna probably get it later on. But for right now, we just don't have the capacity rather to get it rather than anything else. And to get the workbench up and running here, we are going to need a little bit more to go on, and particularly to the ingots. I don't know if we've actually got them cooked. We do. So we can actually get the weapon workbench built in now too. And with that, level up our camp a little bit more. I also did head over to the other camp and got the hot tubs built. But as you can see, the production over there isn't necessarily quick. So we do want to get our hands on a few better mining pals, or basically 10-ish tombats. All of that's probably a little bit overkill because we still need to carry the ore to the chest. So we'd like a few more. I'm kind of, again, sad that I murdered the one that we did get, or did have a chance to catch. That's just how things be sometimes. And next level here is actually build fluffy pal beds. Yeah, we're probably going to be able to get that done. I'd like to get some more wood, put this guy to work. Do we have anyone that could produce anything else? Not really. We have Depresso we could send to the mines. I don't think we have any, outstanding worker pals right now. We could add a Daydream or two. Basically as generally just for the purpose of crafting stuff. But yeah, we are going to have a little bit of a hard time here. We're going to need a lot of cloth. And to get a lot of cloth, we are going to most likely have to move these guys out of the grazing area. That would be the easiest way. Or we make another ranch because we have a little bit too much space right now. But we could move them out of the grazing area and as a result, fill it with melpackers. Or do 50-50 between them and the melpackers. And I think that might be the best option here. We do like this. Find the melpackers. We should have a couple. There we go. Melpackers are great for producing wool. So that is why we're putting them in there as well. They'll produce the wool we need. And in turn the cloth. I think we're actually close. We actually need nails more so than anything else. We're just 2 cloth away. So let's go ahead here and make 4 more nails. Honestly, we might as well just produce as many nails as we can because we're going to need it for a lot of upgrades in the future. But for now, as I said, we do need some ancient technology points, and I think our best option is to start with Chillet, and maybe give Penking a go. I do think that we're probably a little bit too underleveled to go for Penking, but Chillet should be fine, and I probably shouldn't go in there before we've repaired my armor. So let's get that done. Maybe also upgrade it, but Pelt Armor is probably the best that we can have right now. I don't think we really have the chance to get anything better. And we can't actually fix the crossbow at the moment, so it'll just have to be like it is. But getting Chillet here should be good. We'll try and capture it. We'll try and capture Penking as well. Penking is actually an important ingredient in the breeding project. Because we can breed him with another boss and make a late game boss, which is a hilarious thing that was shown to me. Basically, people have been messing around with breeding on Reddit and found that you can basically make any pal through breeding, except for the strongest one. Because the way breeding works is that every pal, or pal species rather, has a... I believe it's pal species, I don't know if it's individual pal, I don't think so. Every pal has a value, and the way breeding works is take its value of the father and the mother, and it's, shares it in 2. So you can't make anything stronger than whichever of the parents has the strongest value. But you'll always make something new, as long as you keep on using different kind of pals here. Let's see if we can get Chillet here. Looks like it's going to be a fairly simple Simple excursion. Honestly, might need to stop stop our man here. And currently I have terrible aim. And I'm kind of scared that if I hit the head, it's going to die. So, oh, let's go for a few body shots. Oh, that was a trick shot. That first one, it actually hit. But yeah, we are going to try and capture a Chillet here. The fact that you're hiding in a bush does not make me very happy. We might actually end up in a problem here too, because most of these pals, when they break out, will immediately send an attack. But at least we did succeed with Chillet, and it gave us 3 parts. For each one of the... Go into the Paldeck here and have a look. Sorry, that's not the one. We're going to technology and have a look. For each incubator, we're going to need 2 civilization parts and also some cloth. So honestly, it's good that we are building, well, getting cloth from the farm. Because we are going to probably try and make 10 to 20 of those incubators. Because we are going to be finding eggs. And the rarer the egg in terms of the bigger they are, the bigger the egg, the rarer it is, the longer it will take to hatch. So we do need to keep that in mind as well. But like the tiniest eggs, base eggs, takes about 10 minutes without any buffs, down to 5 minutes, or I believe it's 20 minutes if you have poor conditions. So as you can imagine, we do need to try and deal with conditions too when it comes to breeding. But that's still a little bit far in the future. Currently, we're just trying to get the egg hatching for the eggs that we've already kind of acquired. And that shouldn't be too much of a deal. But yeah, we'll head to the next box, which is the Penking. And once we got there, I will hopefully have also done a little bit of leveling up there. We'll see though if these egg tiers are cooperative or not. Clearly not, and there's potentially a 3rd pitch invader over there as well. Okay, where did those balls go? I just have to ask. I dodged the wrong way. Oh, that is frustrating. But we did get one of them. But yeah, we'll make our way over to Penking right now. This world really does look good. We have already arrived where Pengulet, or Penking, not Pengulet, lives. But there's actually a piece of lore here that I didn't notice the first time we went by. Kind of hidden. There's also a effigy over there, and probably on top of one of these. But yeah, particularly at night, you do see things easier because things have a glow in this game. And also, I did get, luckily enough, another one of those tomcats over the course of this last night. So we're going to be putting him to work in the mines fairly soon. But for now, we are going to be enter the Seal Realm of Frozen Wings, level 15. And we're going to see if we can get this guy and also get ourselves some extra resources. And as you can see here, the way that these ones work is that they're basically boss fight dungeons. You jump in, the boss is right there. He has his posse to help him out. And currently, Awhile is getting kind of deleted, so we'll swip him in for a Cativa. And I do need to keep an eye on the boss too, because he could, I think, potentially one-shot me. But I want to get rid of the pangolins, because worst case scenario, they can hit me with a kind of instant freeze. That would make it next to impossible to dodge the boss potentially in the future. But we're already halfway, going fairly easy here. And as I said, Penking is going to be an official for future progression. So, would really like to get this guy. And that is scary. Let's call Cativa back so it doesn't accidentally kill. And I think we're at the point now where we should try and just capture. Be careful, because sometimes when these guys pop back out, as you can see there, if the ball's in a bad place, they could phase through the wall, which would be very, very bad. But we did get this one. Pretty simple, straightforward. Got some pal fluids, civilization parts, and pressure pelts, as long as the capture of Penking. It's actually a pretty good early game all-around guy. He has a lot of level 2 stats, so we might as well just head back right away. That's not my mount. Head back right away and take a look at him. And also, I would like to get a better flying mount, because this guy isn't particularly fast or anything. So we'll also be looking into getting that done. But yeah, let's jump back to main camp. And we'll have a bit of a look here at some of the new ones that we have captured on our most recent journey. So, as you can see here, Penking's the big one. Level 2 mining, level 2 handiwork, can be very good to have at the base, but honestly, I think we're going to be sending him and Tombat here to the mines because we do need, well, a lot of ores to progress from this point. But other than that, there isn't really anything special that we have captured. Most of these you've seen before. Chillet here, of course. We captured a bunch of Ictideers. One with Workaholic. We captured an Alpaca, a Nightwing. But again, nothing that is really out of the ordinary, I feel. So that is how it is. I would, of course, also like to kind of align my inventory. Yeah, we also found a couple of Gigaspheres in a chest a little while ago. That was pretty neat. We'll have to use those with care. But yeah, these three things here, they're all for just selling, mainly. I do want my arrows, though, so let's get the cloth back in. Do it like this. And the pal souls, we do want to carry those. We want to carry the gold around. Rest here, we can chuck in. No need to keep it with us. There we go. And I have, as you can see here, built a little bit of building where I'm planning to place the, well, if we have a look at them, I believe I can make one. I can actually make 3 right now. So I'm planning to place the incubators here in this room, kind of in a circle-ish. And it isn't really super recommended to do it like this. It's just because I am lazy. You will get the eggs to hatch way faster if you do individual work on them, if that makes sense. Individual priorities. Because each egg has a temperature that is perfect for it. And if you hit that temperature, they will hatch quicker. So doing like this, not necessarily, you know, the best way to progress, but it'll do the trick for now. Now, we do need to build 2 fluffy beds to progress our base. We're going to need a little bit more cloth for that. So, still, a little bit of work to get done there. These 3 are being built, and I don't have an egg on me right now. Let's go and get one of the large ones, one of the small ones, and I'll show you the difference between those 2. And we can still make 1 more. So that we have a small one. Let's take the large dark one and I guess the rocket one. And we'll put these 3 up for, well, incubation to start off with. Let's place the big one right here. 30 minutes, max speed. Again, 5 minutes, max speed. And this one is 10 minutes because it's a little bit cold. So if it was very cold, we'd lose speed even more. But yeah, this will do the trick for now. Probably could help with putting on our roof, but we'd like to. For some reason, it seems like pals, if you put a roof on, are struggling to get into the door. But as long as I don't have a roof on, they seem to deal with it somewhat nicely. It's a weird thing. But yeah, doors do confuse pals quite a bit. Now, what else did we want to kind of build here? It was the fluffy beds, which currently just need cloth. We are making some right now. But I think we'll be able to get both of those fluffy beds made kind of immediately here. So we're going to get them crafted and level up the base. There we are. The 2 fluffy beds has been constructed, and honestly, that is a good thing. We might want to build a second ranch for the time being, so that we can get enough wool to make fluffy beds for everyone. That wouldn't be a terrible idea. But at the same time now, we are a little bit kind of swamped. Spare assembly line and a power generator. I don't think we have the tech for that just yet. Power generator is right there, spare assembly line, so we need to level up twice to be able to upgrade our base even more. But that's not really, again, a problem. We'll get that sorted when it gets sorted. I guess what we do here is put in another... what do I want to put in here? I'm just going to make it very simple here, and we'll just put in an Ictid here. He'll go help with wood cutting. Basically, we're going to have infinite fiber in no time. And I believe we don't have any ingots to melt. We don't. Gonna do 2 things now. We are going to head to the mining base. We're going to put in the 2 new pals that we have acquired. And after that, we are going to go on a little bit of an adventure to find, well, more components for start. We might actually try and fight King Packer. But we're also going to try and just find the things that we would need to get things started. As you can see, they aren't actually producing that much, so we do definitely need some better miners, or just stay over here for a little bit to speed things along. But yeah, put these two guys to work as well. That should help. At least a little bit. There are still a bunch of ore on the floor, so these guys being a little bit lazy with the collection, which is also a bit of a problem. But you get the idea. Ore is being slowly automated. But as I said, let's just get ahead, and we're going to continue leveling, going to continue just capturing pals. I might extend with another ranch over here, because I don't think we really need anything else. But other than that, it's just try and get the big guard. We'll get back once we get there, and we'll also try and get the cow. The mozzarella, I believe it's called. And I believe it actually does live over here, but we haven't actually seen one before. So we'll head over to that area and level up a little bit. What we're also seeing in the distance here, just because I kind of forgot about it, is the safari zone. And we might as well head over there and have a look. I've been to the other two safari zones, but not this one. You do kind of need a flyer to get there, and we're going to fly over and see if there is potentially some pals that we can use for mining. We're getting increasingly closer to the safari zone, and a safari zone is basically, unsurprisingly, a place where you're not supposed to be, or rather than just be, a place where you're not supposed to catch anything. So I don't know how high level they'll be in this zone, but in the other two zones they're fairly high leveled. So let's peek over and see what we find. Deer Terror. Okay, level 20 ain't too bad. We have another one of those, basically the Earth version of the Deer. That sounds like it could mine. Does it not? We also found a defense pendant that increases defense. I don't see any guards nearby, so let's get this criminal activity underway. And I do want to try and capture this one, because I want to see if it does mining for us. Because if it does, it's actually going to be very beneficial. The wood version does woodwork. I would assume this one does groundwork. But I also expect it to be able to kind of delete me if I'm not careful. The blue ones here are actually going to be a little bit too weak, so we're going to have to try a green one. And what I'm thinking is that we bring this one back and see what it does. And then we'll make a decision from there. Yeah. I want to get my birdie out again. And we did see a Penking just walking around. That is not the birdie. That is an attack. Yeah, just a Penking wandering about. The boss is lower though, so no real issue. But yeah, let's see if there's anything else here. I believe also the squad here does change at night, which would make things a little bit more spicy again. Another Terror Deer. What is that? An Asarobe? That's the boss that we saw earlier, but we can go for the level 17 one instead then, I think. Also, since the chest here seems to have pretty good loot, let's just go ahead and loot them. But yeah. That one does look pretty dignified. A handgun schematic. I guess we should come here more often, because it does have a good loot. Sapphire is also something we can sell for cash. So it's not a bad idea to stop by here when we have the opportunity. I assume you're not allowed to build a base here, but with the third base, we could potentially use it as a teleport location. High-grade technical manual. Technology points, okay. Just cash those in. I don't think there's any point holding on to them. Oh, those are... That is the Popo. Those are the ones we don't want to mess with. Let's see, do we have enough energy to just barely get up on this ledge? No. Yeah, we did. Petalia. I believe that is a high-level boss? Well, high-ish level. Level 20-ish. But that does sound like an all-round, you know, planter. Would do well planting. Do we see any cops? There's one over there. There's a Penking over there. Let's bring the Petalia over here. And let's try and fight it. I know that it's flowers, but it just looks like it has such huge eyes. No, 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 no. Okay. That's also a little bit overkill, I think. Did get it, so that is good. Paldeck transforms into a massive plant. Okay. Basically, it's a plant phoenix, is what I got from that. Some more manuals. Which means that we're definitely going to be able to unlock everything on the tech tree, because I believe we can come back for these chests again later on. So that is good. But this would also be, as I said, a bit of a hilarious place to build a bit of a base. Like, just build it up here. Let's see if we're actually allowed to do that. Go into PAL here, PAL box. I have insufficient materials, so can't really check. There's no real wood on this place. Another ass robe. I think I saw a chest over here, but where's the cop? Yeah, that's the chest. Okay, so there's some interesting pals over here. I guess they will change out at night, so probably would be better to come back then. We can also slap on another thermal underwear, which I assume can't really see it right now because it doesn't pop up, but I would assume it makes it impervious to the cold. Yeah, now we can kind of go everywhere we want already. That's actually kind of nice. Water aqua burst sounds like a good skill as well. Looks like a good skill. Can be used to make suspicious use and strange use. Okay. I think we got everything though that we came for. This fire zone is low level compared to the other ones, at least. So what I'm thinking is that once it comes nighttime proper, we might actually just make our way back here. It is a little bit far away, a little bit of a flight, but not too long. But yeah, we are gonna visit this some other time. For now, we're just gonna get out of here and get on home, and then get the mozzarella sticks. When you stand up here, you can kind of see how vast this world that they've crafted kind of is. We currently made it a pretty far way up here. As you can see, we made us up to basically the other spawn point. We have followed basically the river here. We were allowed to go onto the volcano island, just along the coast. And we took that opportunity to collect a bunch of huge scorching eggs, a huge dragon egg, some large scorching eggs, and generally just a ton of eggs that we'll probably be messing around with next time. But yeah, as you can see here, we have a pretty good view over the, well, the northern part of the world, the big ice mountain, the, well, World 3, I guess you should call it, a safari zone, the volcano area, which we haven't really been too much into, and this now bamboo biome. Now we are going to head our way back. There should be a point right below us where we can do that, and I'm just going to see if this egg is a large one. I don't think so. I think it's a normal damp egg. So, also looks like there's a Katiba over there, so we're just going to head home. But yeah, Hope you liked the little montage that we have edited in here in the middle. Um, we might do that more when we do exploring. I feel like this wasn't proper exploring, so we made it a little bit simpler. But yeah, once we go proper exploring new areas, we probably won't. But as I said, we've only really followed the coastline, gathered some eggs. We did explore this island a little bit, but nothing really too big here. There are some high level bosses. We did fight Gummars, but honestly, mostly just lower level pals that we have seen before. So yeah, a good journey. Couldn't find anything for making cakes though. They're probably a little bit further to the north. I probably miscalculate a little bit exactly where I would find them, which does happen. Mistakes can be made. We did find some hyperspace though, which are going to be beneficial to have. But again, it's one of those things that we will be missing if we were to end up losing. Now, I think how we're going to end this is very simply by having a look at the eggs here. We have a couple of large dark eggs. They have finished their incubation period. Let's see what pops out of them. A tombat, perfectly. We also did find some tombats when we were out and about. A daydream. That's a little bit disappointing, honestly. And in this last one, what are we going to find? A hangyu, which is a new one. Gigantic arms can rip apart even iron. Uh, oh, and a hangyu would tear the skin. Ugh. That sounds horrible. But what I'm thinking we do here is that we take those three huge eggs, we get them in the incubator, and we have a look at what they offer for us next time around. Because it's night, it's going slower. We could of course put up a heater, but as I said, I'm not too bothered. And next time we are going to be doing probably three things. We're going to be getting more incubators. We are going to be getting doing a lot of boss fighting to do so. We're also going to be trying to get the ranch animals, so to speak, or ranch pals that we need in order to kind of reliably ranch, which sounds like a dumb sentence. The ranch pals that we need to reliably get the resources for making cakes so we can actually do some breeding. There we go, that's better English. But yeah, that's going to be the goal. We'll have to see how that plays out. For the time being, I think we are done with today. We have gotten the mining base up and running. We've been there. Before we went, we cooked 114 ingots. And I'm pretty sure that if we head to the mining base right now just to have a look at it, there's probably more waiting for us there. And the main limitation of how many mining pals you want to have is basically how long does they take to... Do they get all nodes before they respawn? And right now, there are a couple of nodes that have respawned. But nothing major. Add a couple more mining spores in here, and this should be more than good enough. We could also go ahead and remove our Penking and bring him with us back, because the Penking is probably better suited to being in the main base and doing main base stuff. So let's get this guy in. Let's get the sand mine one in. And if we have a look here at the hang view and what he does, can be used as a glider. I don't understand how that works, but okay. Handiwork, gathering, transporting. Honestly, we're just gonna put it in here. 15% sanding drop though is not good. And we did find these guys, which are level 2 electricity, level 1 wood. Could be nice ones to have. We also caught the Lux, or Dinosum, sorry. Dinosum Lux is a different one. Unfortunately, came out as a brittle, lower defense, but we can use that as a planter / lumberer. So it's not all bad. We also caught some Caprides, a Ruby, which is a low level fire pal, but they do increase their firepower, which in theory should translate into making the flamethrower a little bit more powerful. But yeah, we got some Tokatus, transform this into an egg launcher. They're good for gathering. But yeah, for the most part, we have just been capturing things in order to level up. And that has worked pretty well. Now, the Terran one is still a lumbering one, so no mining for that one, unfortunately. Before we end, we're just going to go quickly back to the base and kind of settle things. I did kind of forget why I went to do this one in the first place. I'm just going to put the Dinosum to work, because if not, I'm going to forget before next time. And what we do want to bring with us here is, of course, if we can, the ore. And they've actually already done 200, so if every time we do an expedition we get 100 ingots, loosely translated when we come back, I'll be happy. That mine is definitely up and running in an acceptable way. Probably not still a great way, but at least an acceptable one. That was the wrong key. And what I'm thinking that we're going to do next time is go to a bit of a higher tier. Why can't I access this now? There we go. Apparently I'm on the wrong side of the chest, which makes little sense if you ask me, but okay. Yeah, I think again, I might be setting a little bit too many goals for me. That is one of my bad habits. But I think next time around we are going to do, as I said, fight some bosses, get some more egg incubators, get the pals needed for creating cakes, and start a little bit of breeding in order to get pals that we really shouldn't have yet, as well as a mining base for coal and ingots, because we're going to need that soon. If we go through the technology here and have a look at how many times we leveled up on this journey, we did end up leveling up 3 times, which is not bad. Gives us a power generator, a mounted crossbow, which means that we can place a handiwork pal to defend the base if you want to. Hyperspheres, the assembly line, cold resistant metal armor we can get as well. Stump and axe, which will increase the efficiency of lumbering. We can get the lamps, production lines, giga shields, some furniture sets. I do want the metal shelf set, but I don't know if they actually have more capacity than the chest that I'm currently kind of standing on. So yeah, we'll have to deal with that as we go. We do have 2 ancient technology points. We're going to use that to unlock the PAL essence condenser, which is again a way to basically upgrade your PAL's skills. They can be upgraded to 4 stars. And if they do get upgraded to 4 stars, it's going to make things a little bit simpler for us. But yeah, it's been a good run today. We did get a lot of stuff done. And everything is kind of coming along nicely. Going to get some more base building, some more ranching, some more, again, breeding hopefully the next time. The mining base is a success. Everything else is a success. Thank you for watching. And I hope to see you around next time. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. Helps me out a ton. Bye bye.